The story of Father Luis Andreu and the great miracle of Garabandal among the many clergymen who made their way to the small Spanish village of Garabandal to study the strange and deeply spiritual events unfolding there during the early 1960s. One name stands out in a particularly striking and moving way. Father Luis Andreu, a Spanish Jesuit priest, alongside his brother, Father Andreu, also a Jesuit. Father Luis initially approached Garabandal not with a firm conviction of discovering miraculous truths, but rather with a spirit of curiosity. For young girls Conchita, lowly Jacinta, and Mari Cruz claimed to be seeing visions of the Blessed Virgin Mary, sometimes referred to during the apparitions as Our Lady of Mount Carmel. These visions began in 1961 and continued for several years. Father Luis approached them during this time, intending to observe more closely. It was as though something had been revealed to him, something beyond human comprehension. As they made their way to his residence, they noted that he was filled with an unmistakable sense of joy, serenity, and spiritual assurance. He continued to express, with fervent enthusiasm, his belief in the authenticity of the apparitions and the sanctity of what he had witnessed. His exclamation startled and intrigued those nearby. They did not fully understand what he had seen or experienced, but the impact it had on him was undeniable. He was a young man still in the prime of his life, with no known illness or condition that would have suggested his end was near, yet he passed away in peace, just after expressing unparalleled joy and spiritual certainty. She later shared the revelation with the other 3 girls. It will serve as a lasting testament to the divine nature of the events that occurred in Garabandal, and will invite all people to reflect, believe, and return to God. According to Conchita, the Great Miracle will take place on a Thursday at 8:30 p.m. During the Great Miracle, all the sick who are present in Garabandal will be healed, no matter their condition or prognosis. Sinners will convert, experiencing profound repentance and a return to God. Unbelievers will believe, as the spiritual reality of the event becomes undeniable. It will be a terrible experience, not in the sense of divine wrath, but in the sheer magnitude of truth revealed. Conchita has spoken of this possibility with deep seriousness. If we do not change, the chastisement will be horrible, she said. But if the world ignores these divine interventions, justice will follow. This is not a punishment rooted in vengeance, but in the natural consequence of persistent rejection of grace. The girls Conchita, Loli, and Jacinto were shown this chastisement during one of their visions. His death was not a sign of judgment, but a testimony of grace. He was, it seems, permitted to see the great miracle. And after experiencing a brief moment of heaven on earth, he was called home in peace. Though Conchita has remained obedient to the Virgin's command not to reveal its full details, she affirms that the vision was terrifying and unforgettable. She has simply said, "I cannot say what it consists of, because I do not have Our Lady's permission. It will be both awe-inspiring and humbling." The warning is not intended to instill fear, but rather to awaken souls to the urgent need for conversion and reconciliation with God. The event will last approximately 15 minutes, during which extraordinary supernatural phenomena will occur. However, the exact date remains unrevealed at this time, and she has explained that she is not yet permitted to disclose it. However, a visible sign will remain in the pine trees of Garabandal for all to see until the very end of time. We're so lucky to have a mother like her in heaven. There is no doubt in my mind that the visions are true. Today is the happiest day of my life. This warning, coming directly from God, will be seen in the sky and witnessed by every person on earth. The purpose of the warning is to draw people closer to Him, not to condemn. It is a wake-up call, an act of divine love meant to stir even the hardest of hearts into recognizing the need for repentance. It is a global act of mercy, preparing the world for the great miracle. It will be a global experience, transcending geography, culture, and religion. Each individual will understand it clearly and simultaneously. The warning will not be a simple celestial sign, but a profound interior illumination of conscience. The girls later revealed that the Blessed Virgin Mary had told them that on that very night, August 8th, Father Luis not only saw her during their ecstatic vision, but also was given a miraculous preview of the great miracle that would occur in the future. This revelation cast his sudden death in a new light, not as a tragedy, but as a divine gift, a calling home after having witnessed a glimpse of heaven's glory. We're so lucky to have a mother like her in heaven. There is no doubt in my mind that the visions are true. Today is the happiest day of my life. What happened next left an indelible impression on those around him. Those present at the scene noticed a sudden and profound change come over the priest. His face became radiant, overtaken by an expression of awe and spiritual elation. His companions turned to check on him and asked, "Father, what's wrong?" But Father Luis did not respond. He had died. Tears rolled down his cheeks, not of sorrow, but of a deep, overwhelming joy. In a moment of spontaneous exaltation, he cried out, repeating a single word 4 times, "Miracle, miracle, miracle, miracle." The events attracted increasing attention from priests, theologians, journalists, and the faithful, as well as skeptics and scientists. Among those compelled to investigate were the Andreu brothers. They had heard of the apparitions and the young girls who were receiving messages and falling into ecstasy. But they did not immediately take for granted the seriousness or authenticity of what was happening. Their motives for going were rooted more in observation and inquiry than in an expectation of witnessing something that would change their lives forever. Nevertheless, what they experienced there, particularly Father Luis, had profound consequences not only for their own faith, but for the continuing narrative surrounding the Marian apparitions at Garabandal. The small village had become the site of frequent and extraordinary spiritual phenomena. Father Andreu had already made an earlier visit, but it was during Father Luis Andreu's second visit, on August 8, 1961, that something extraordinary occurred, an event that would become one of the most moving and mysterious moments in the chronicles of Garabandal. That night, the 4 girls once again entered into a state of ecstasy, as was frequently reported during their visions. This powerful utterance was not shouted in panic or confusion, but spoken with certainty and deep spiritual conviction. Later that same night, Father Luis traveled back by car with companions. "I'm so happy," he said, his voice trembling with emotion. "The Blessed Virgin has given me an immense gift." These would be among the final words that Father Luis Andreu would ever speak. Moments later, silence filled the car. His sudden death was shocking and deeply moving. But what is this great miracle of which the Blessed Virgin spoke? In October of 1961, a few months after Father Luis's death, the Blessed Virgin Mary disclosed more details about this future event to Conchita, the most frequently quoted of the 4 visionaries. "This sign will not be something that can be tampered with or interpreted ambiguously. It will be permanent and indestructible beyond scientific explanation. The miracle itself will coincide with a significant event within the Catholic Church, though the precise nature of this event has not been publicly revealed. Conchita has said that she will announce the date of the miracle 8 days in advance, giving people time to prepare themselves spiritually and physically." In addition to the miracle, the Blessed Virgin revealed that a supernatural warning would precede it. Every person will see the state of their soul as God sees it, the good they have done, the sins they have committed, and the opportunities for repentance they may have ignored. God, in His infinite mercy, desires the salvation of every human soul. However, the Blessed Virgin Mary also made it clear that if humanity does not respond to the miracle with genuine repentance and transformation, a chastisement will follow. The implication is clear. God is offering humanity a sequence of signs, first the warning, and the miracle as chances for redemption. What makes the story of Garabandal so poignant and powerful is the intertwining of divine message and personal human experience, none more so than in the account of Father Luis Andreu. His last words remain etched in the memory of those who believe. "I'm so happy. The Blessed Virgin has given me an immense gift." In many ways, his story encapsulates the very heart of the Garabandal apparitions: faith, revelation, joy, and a profound invitation to turn our eyes and hearts toward heaven.